Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and direct right in your living rooms. And before we get to business, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. I want to see plenty of likes on this one. Let's get it up to like 250, 300 likes. You never know, I might do a dance if I get to it live on stream. If we get to 300 likes on stream, I will try and twerk for you. All right, there you go. Right, so get 300 likes and I'm going to twerk on live stream for you. But anyways, enough of that daftness. Who am I with tonight? Well, ladies and gentlemen, thankfully. Okay, right. Well, Lee Lawler's here, and we don't care about what he thinks. We'll come back to Lee in a second, right? Josh is here from Philly. Josh, how are you doing, my man? It's been a minute.
Good to see you again, brother.
All good to see you too, my mate. It's been a while. Look, we're going to go right into it, Lee, and this is where I want to bring you in because nobody cares how you are. You've just been to Singapore and South Korea. You are jammy as anything, but it is what it is. Lee, we have had plenty news. Do you have any more for us that's been breaking today? Not that we haven't spent all day together in any case, but anyways.
Yeah, stay tuned for NFTV Extra for the women's part on that. Yeah, we'll go through a little bit of the news. So this is open up to you to come on the show. There is a link pinned in the live chat for you to come on. So have a look at that. We've already got a couple of people waiting already to come on as well. So if you want to have your say, if you don't want to put your camera on, you just want to have the audio, if you don't feel comfortable enough, fair enough, do that. If you're brave enough to speak to her, we'll bite you, maybe a little bit. But yeah, do come on. But let's take a look. We're going to spend the next 5 to 10 minutes just talking about the news because there's a lot happening as per usual today with the share screen facilities as well. I'm going to ask Josh and Joe if they can mute themselves as we play this little clip because we have to start off with Alexander Isak, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not been ideal. I don't think it's been healthy for us. I'm not going to deny that that's been a big challenge. For me, Alex is one of the, if not the best strikers in the world. So to miss him from your squad is a huge gap. The situation's ongoing, but we'll have to find a way without. Yeah, I think morale was certainly affected early on during pre-season. There's no denying that, and there was nothing I could do really to affect that. It was always going to be there. When you've got a player that good, not part of your group, it's difficult for the players to sort of fully understand it and know what's going on and then sort of know how to react to it. But I think as time's gone on, there's been a sort of an acceptance that this is the squad and we've got to make the best of the situation. That's always been my train of thought. Whatever situation you're in, you've got to find a way, and you can only control what you can control.
I actually think it's been quite positive there. You can unmute yourselves now. I thought it was very quite positive there about it because obviously he's getting hammered with the questions over and over. No doubt you will for the Aston Villa game. A little bit more positive news. Keith Downey was up at the Newcastle airport. As you can see, Jacob Ramsey has been spotted and he's off the plane. He's in the building. He'll be going through a medical this evening or maybe first thing in the morning. And hopefully that is announced. It's going to be a tight deadline. If you want to be registered, ironically, to play against Aston Villa, he has to be registered by midday. That's a push. So I think you might miss this weekend's game, and I think just his headspace would make sense for him not to play this because he's obviously a Villa boy, he loves Villa, and playing against them after just leaving them after a day and a half will feel massively weird. But obviously, the fee of 39 million, we are going to talk about that. Joel will bring that up later.
Yep.
With £4 million add-ons, 24-year-old. Midfielder will begin his medical tonight and watch Ramsey take his first steps in the tune as he finalises his big money transfer. More on Sky Sports News. Again, a little bit on the Isak situation as well. And Alexander Isak is on strike, says Craig Hope. I can't confirm. How does this play out? Major update. He's going to get a club fine. That's what Craig Hope is saying. It's coming. He's going to be fine now because obviously he's not going to play against the league fixtures coming up in the next couple of days, and then Liverpool the following weekend. Why will not cross the picket line? NUFC striker still in search, and why Liverpool are waiting to pounce. Positivity. The two Brazilians have dyed their hair, so that's ready for the weekend. So try and spot them in midfield. So yeah, they're on the training ground, and obviously you've got Krath and Byrne, and I think that was Trippier just behind. A little bit on Wissa. Again, Joe, anytime during the stream, we can come back to these as well. Yeah. Lee Ryder's gone to say that Newcastle are still trying to do the Yoane Wissa deal and another striker, not helped at all by the uncertainty surrounding the Alexander Isak situation. And of course, this is a picture that I took out in Seoul that Newcastle, and I know I've spelled Guinness wrong before anyone corrects us, two ends, and they were all fancy, but they've got a partnership with Guinness that's finally been announced. That's been coming for months, to be fair, and we will talk about the overlap. So once again, lads, if I can ask you to mute yourselves, because this is what the title is all about.
How can they let him go now at such short notice when it's not in their plans? They've not replaced him. They've got a real problem if he leaves. I think for their season and for their success as a football club, and Newcastle are a big club, I just think they have to keep him for 1 year. If I was a club, you've got to try and do a deal. You've just got to try and do a deal. You've got to try and do a deal with him to say you can leave next summer.
If I'm going to totally honest, I'd want to do a deal with him to get him out now. I'd want to get him out now. Yes, I'd want to get him out now because it's the rest of the lads now with the way he's acting. I'm telling you, if they keep him there now, especially, but Roy, if he's going to stay there,
right, if you're a player
and he wants to leave, they know he's going to be able to leave next year.
Leave. We've had loads. We've all been in a dressing room where a player thinks he's leaving and falls through, and even they've been.
Yeah, but that's not when they're called.
We've seen it all, and then they come back, and a few weeks later, what you wanted your top players available? What do you think they're an idiot? Right, if you come back and you start scoring goals, lads. There was a massive issue at United with Wayne Rooney, who was going to City, and he put a public statement out at the time before a game. So this happened with Wissa, and to be fair, I thought he'd gone. I thought he was done. There's no way he's coming back from that. To be fair, about 3 weeks later, he signed an extension to his contract.
How did you feel during the 3 weeks?
Oh no, to be fair, we made him apologise because he put a statement out before a Champions League game, and me and Giggsy saw him the day after. We made him apologise to the players. Don't do it before a game. Yeah. We know you've got your fight going on with the club. I thought he was done. The instances I'd seen, and literally about 2 weeks later, he signed a new contract, and he was back in, favouring. I think United fans still have that little bit of maybe something where they thought he was going to leave to City.
But he's not done the. I'm not training. I'm not coming back.
No, they wouldn't do that. Yeah. He's not a type of.
So he's not the kind of person.
No, but it was a big thing where you think it's gone, it's over, and then
James White a few weeks ago looked like he was going to Spurs. Then he signs a new deal a couple of days later. It happens with players. I'm not saying he refused to train. I'm not putting him in that bracket. But players have done a lot worse. Players have gone on strike.
Who is Isak wearing on September 1st? Who is Isak wearing the shirt of?
Liverpool.
I think it'll be Liverpool.
I'll follow the crowd.
Liverpool. They should pay the money.
I hope.
So Liverpool, that's what they all say. And obviously Keane having a bit of an argument there with Ian Wright, and obviously everyone's talking about it now. But do get your comments coming in about the whole situation, what they've said, they've argued about it. We're going to discuss the whole things tonight. So Joe, it's back in your hand, mate.
Yes, thank you very much. Like, great little roundup there. And I want to start off straight on the top, and I want to hear what everyone thinks about this. And as well, don't forget, there is a link in the comments. Please hit that link if you want to come on and talk to it. I promise we will not bite too much, and I will not mess up too much and put a really bad prediction out there like I usually do. Anyways, I want to go straight from the top, and I want to talk about Keane and Wrighty now. Look, lads, for me, I heavily agree with what Keane said, and I was good in the end when he ends up agreeing with the crowd, because I think deep down Keane wants it to be played out where Isak stays and he gets his punishment. I think right now you can look at it, and for me it's one of those where when I was on the overlap and I got to speak to Jamie Carragher behind the scenes, Carragher was very much like he doesn't really
friends,
me and Carragher, we go way back now, lads, and me and him way back in the day anyways, right? And I think that's kind of the sentiment right now. Like, who wants a player who's acted out like this? And I don't know how many people know, but he's done this before. This has happened previous with Alexander Isak in the past, going towards Sociedad, messing up with Dortmund and even Real Madrid back in the day. He kicked his dummy out the pram. I personally think it is right what Keane's saying. He needs to stay, he needs to play, and he needs to show why he's worth this money. And we need to just accept and go, right, we don't want to lose too much money. Imagine selling Isak next season for 70 million just because he hasn't played a game. I feel like we're punishing ourselves more than we're punishing him. He's going to laugh. So we want to be able to get a top price for him. Adina, Josh, what's your takes on this big argument between the lads at the overlap?
So for me, every day my stance has eroded more to there's no sympathy I have for Isak. I think all of us logically can understand him wanting to move on, but for me going in, I have a couple coworkers that watch football as well. I have a Man U fan who sits near me, and so we banter off each other, and a bunch of them were joking that even before all this started, that Isak was leaving. And I made a bet with one of them because we do a Taco Tuesday every Tuesday at the office. I said, I'll pay your tacos for a month because Isak ain't leaving. because I was so convinced at the beginning of the summer. Bad bet I made. At least it's looking like it right now. But anyways, my big thing is I think we could have all accepted him leaving, but there's two big things. One, Liverpool are yet to give a serious offer. If you're going to pay 16 for Florian Wirtz or something like that?
I think that's about right. It was roughly that.
Yeah, so they paid that money for Wirtz, who is not Premier League proven. I'm not saying I don't think he's going to do well. I'm just saying there is an element of question mark, doubts to it, versus you're getting someone in a different position, a striker, arguably the most important position on the pitch, and is proven in this league. I'm sorry, if you aren't starting with, I know we say 150. At this point, I would say maybe you go to 140 because there's a little bit of damaged goods and he's eroded some of our high ground that we have. But to me, if we don't get a serious offer, what are we talking about? There's we're not going to sell him for 110 just because he throws a fit.
Yep.
And the biggest thing that's just so disappointing to me is at this point, and this might be a hot take, but Callum Wilson has a more important legacy to me as a Newcastle player than Isak does now.
Whoa, that's a hot take. That
it's a statement. That man.
Because to me, I know he's done a lot on the pitch, but to me, I think part of why I picked to be a Newcastle fan, and I told you guys about this when I was in Costa with you. To me, being a Newcastle fan is not about loving the Mbappes and loving the superstars. It's about what it means, like Malik Chow and that video and his family being there. That's what being a Newcastle fan's about, not being a superstar, in my opinion. So that's why, to me, I personally feel that way. I know many may think I'm crazy for saying that, but that's why I also said on a podcast about a half year ago that, to me, I'd rather have, 11 Miggy Almirons on the pitch because someone who fought for the badge and gave it everything than, say, an Mbappe that's just a mercenary.
That's why you're a Geordie to me, my mate. You understand what it's about. It's about putting your heart on your sleeve. It's about going out there and hitting the ground and really fighting for this city. Lee, what do you reckon about this? I know we've discussed it a little bit today, so it's a mad one, isn't it, really? It's one of those of everyone at the table's agreeing with each other. But there's slight differences where I think it mainly comes in Keane and Wrighty. They've got the biggest differences. Who do you agree with? Whose side do you want?
Well, I would say Wrighty because he's the striker, isn't he? So,
yeah.
And obviously, I think with Wrighty, I don't think Wrighty would have ever done that because obviously he's not that demeanour. But obviously, they mentioned a couple of players there, that Rooney, and that's why I think if we go past September the 1st and Isak's still a Newcastle player, I've said this again, I'll say it again. Don't be surprised that was a contract signed and there's a big release clause put in there and his wages are upped. That will not shock me at all. Seeing that in the history down the past, I think Luis Suarez did it as well. He tried to get out, and Liverpool wanted another year off him as well. So it can happen. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm sure Ronaldo gave Man United another year as well before he went off to Real Madrid. So we've got to face facts that Isak deserves, because of his form the last 2.5 year, that you'll be playing for the elite. But unfortunately, PSR screwed us. We can't be a Man City nowadays, and some part of me wishes that. I wish that we could do that, but other parts of me don't wish that as well. I want to earn that, like we did with the League Cup. We earned the right to win that. We didn't buy it. So yes, with Keane and with Ian Wright arguing, I'm with Wright on that corner. I think it's everyone's talking about it now. It's even YouTube channels that have nothing to do with Newcastle are talking about Isak because it's traffic, it's driving views, it's driving news, discussions. People are always talking about it. It's all over social media. Liverpool fans, even Man United fans, because Man United fans don't want Isak to sign because of it boosts Isak. Look, I think if Isak gets Liverpool, I think there's just one win in the Premier League, and that's going to be Liverpool.
Of course it is. You put with the players they've brought in as well. I mean, for me personally, behind Alexander Isak, the other striker that I really, really, really wanted was Hugo Ekitike. And I feel like if we had been able to get Ekitike, keep Isak happy, and if we had a bagged Ryan Cherki, we would be the ones who would be contenders for the title, and Liverpool would struggle. I genuinely believe that. But because they may end up with Isak, I do believe no one stands up to that Liverpool side, and I think even Man City are going to get heavily humbled in the league by Liverpool. It's a crazy one. Look, before we move on to another subject and bring a guest in, because we do have a couple of people waiting in the line, if you do want to join, hit the link. Lee will get you queued up. There's a nice little queue up here, and not quite like South South Korea and the queues that he's seen over there, which you can check out the videos on Newcastle Fans TV. Some great content. Loved it. Can we bring the comments up, Lee? Let's have a catch up with everyone, especially, I believe it's Simon. Fun. So yes, I am now Stone Cold Kenja, according to Simon Cutter. Let's have a look at the comments here. And anyways, what's everyone saying here? Patrick, talking to Joe Linton. We've got Joe Linton in the chat. Joe Linton, how's it going, mate? This decision has been influenced by minds outside of his own, other individuals. Mate, Lee, could you just bring that comment up for again for us?
Can't want to comment goes. I can't.
Oh, God, goodness gracious. Well, I wasn't quick enough. Anyway, sorry there, mate. So, Graham Morton, PIF must stand firm and make an example of him. They don't suffer fools gladly despite the PSR influence. Mark Ryan saying Van Dijk finished. He was found out at Palace. Was he, though? Or was it just a picture taken at the right time? I'm not too sure. Patrick, hashtag Gale 2025. Simi Cutters. Simi, I was just saying about how you call me Stone Cold Kenja in the members Discord chat that we've got going. And Ian Campbell saying Liverpool saying that if they couldn't sign Isak, they would go for Ekitike was a dirty move. For that reason alone, we shouldn't budge on 150 million. I have said 150 million left, right and centre. That's all I keep talking about. But look, it is what it is with Isak. We're going to see how it goes in a few weeks. Before we move on to the man who is dropped down on Tyneside today, let me bring the first guest in, which I believe is another member in Matt Lewis.
Lads, you all right?
How's it going, my mate? This is one of the big Newcastle United women fans and Newcastle United fans. He attends just about every single Newcastle United women game. He writes a few articles for it on the website as well. Great little writer you are, Matt. Matt, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, all good. You doing all right? You all doing all right?
I'm good.
I'm it.
Yeah. It's a bit hot, and I think even Josh is feeling that as well over in Philly. What were you saying before? 29 Celsius?
Yep.
Ooh, we just
Damn! It is a hot day.
We don't get aircon though. We don't get aircon.
Aye. Have you got aircon?
Of course he has. He's American.
God damn it!
You wouldn't survive here if you don't have aircon.
I would love a bit of that right now. I've just got a couple of fans, and that's about it. Look, lads, we're getting.
I know that already.
Wait, what?
I knew that already. You've only got a couple of fans.
Oh, I know. At least I've got a couple of fans. Look, we're looking onto the player who has just dropped down in Tyneside, Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey, midfielder, 24 years old, mainly plays the centre. I've seen a few people talking about how he could end up taking Joe Linton's position. Personally, I think he's got a big job to fill if he does that. For me, he's excellent depth. Matt, I'm going to come to you first since you've jumped in. What's your take on Jacob Ramsey if he does sign? Because at the minute with this transfer window, I'm not believing it until I see them with the shirt on. 40 million. What's your take, mate?
Yeah, I think it's a decent sign. And as you say, I don't believe nothing until it happens because I thought that with a few players this summer. But it's a good deal. It's the squad depth as well. Yeah. Obviously, we need to bolster that squad. With the last time he was in the Champions League, just couldn't compete with the amount of games. So we've got maybe 50 games, get through the group stage, get plus the League Cup and that. So we need to have that squad depth. Longstaff's moved on, which is obviously a good move for him as well. But Ramsey's a good to come in for that position. The 40 million might look at that like, well, that's quite a lot, but at the end of the day, you're playing English tax for that one. I think that's I say English players are that a little bit more when they've got time on their deals and that. So, but no, I'm happy with the signing definitely, and the same. The more bodies we can get through the door because we need that depth for the Champions League. Yeah,
I do like to see what's going on with Ramsey. I do agree. I said it earlier today about how at the start of the window, I probably wouldn't have picked Jacob Ramsey. But at this point in the window, he fills a good depth position. Josh, what's your take on Ramsey?
Yeah, kind of a lot like what Matt's saying. I think it's very good depth. Think about it. We lost Longstaff, we've replaced it. I'm not saying that Ramsey's going to be right side of the midfield. I know he typically is more on the left side, but that gives us better quality depth substitution. I think we can all agree that we'll feel that Ramsey could make more of an offensive impact. Nothing against Longstaff, but I think he wasn't very dynamic. I think Ramsey's going to give us more dynamicness. The other thing that I think it'll do is give us a player, hopefully like Bruno, because unfortunately Bruno's technical abilities at kind of trying to break down a defense that's sitting back sometimes gets not wasted, but lost because he's playing deeper role. I think if you bring on Ramsey, he's more of that 10 or center attacking mid kind of thing that can maybe do that. And one thing I even thought kind of outside of the box, and I know I asked Lee on his live stream, I think it was this morning, about if we maybe got both El Khanous and Ramsey. And my thought was, maybe are we thinking outside of the box of how to handle losing Isak, even if we can't get two strikers, because maybe we do something with a false nine. Say we get a Wissa too, again, hypothetical, but if you got a Wissa and say maybe an El Khanous, maybe that can, in a different way, kind of mitigate the goals lost from Isak.
Yeah, I like that. Overload the whole the midfield and really take power there. I think that's the main place that we've suffered depth. I do want to have a little look at the comments because there was someone before, I believe it was Mark Ryan, asked a very, very interesting question. Lee, if you could bring up the comments there. So Mark Ryan had said, it's just at the top of the comment section there, you can see, do we start Ramsey straight away? So quick fire chat, I want you all to just say it straight away. Ramsey 11, Ramsey no. Ramsey bench, whatever. How would you have Ramsey? And in this, by the way, Matt, I'm gonna bring it off in a minute. I just want to ask this one question: do you start Ramsey straight away? No, I don't. Lee, do you start Ramsey straight away?
No, because I don't think you will.
Josh, do you start Ramsey straight away?
No.
I'm agreeing with this. It's four no's. You're not going through. You're not getting the golden buzzer. Just before we do come away from the comments, I want to have a look at a couple more. Matt, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. Take care, my mate, and I will see you soon at a women's game, no doubt.
Yeah, it's yours soon. Take it easy.
So we have also, I want to have a little look there at Mark Todd's comment there. I've always liked Ramsey when I've seen him play, but after watching a Villa forum, they didn't seem bothered as he's always on the bench, often injured and struggles to maintain his level. Not sure now. I did notice earlier, there was a couple of people on a few channels, on a few Twitter pages saying, Ramsey has only scored 2 goals in the past couple of seasons. So I'm not confirmed on that. Haven't went and fact checked that. And is it because
I think that is true. I think I've heard it on a few channels as well. I mean, I haven't looked it up myself, but I've heard it from a few places.
Ooh, Patrick with a hot take. Ramsey over Joe Linton. Give him a chance. Patrick. I am taking that away. No chance at all. How won't put him in straight away? It takes weeks. I do agree with that. NUFC Clarky 24. Simi Cuddy. Ramsey will be gradually integrated into the squad. How won't thrown in at the deep end. Welsh Toon. Now we don't start Ramsey until there's a clear lack of creativity in the field. I like that. Welsh Toon, I like that. I agree with that heavily. Ramsey gives you depth, not strength. Agreed. Do you floss your teeth with a mattress? Kingy, I do not floss my teeth with a mattress. I actually use a 16 wheeler. It's the best way to do it. I know a couple of HGV drivers who tend to back it up for us, and I don't mean that in that
Matt Ritchie. That's Matt Ritchie comes to mind, you know?
See, Matt Ritchie made him go way back. Look, anyways, thank you, comments. Keep them coming in. We want to see plenty of that, even a bit banter about my appearance. God damn, I love this. Callum is next. Callum, I want to bring you in and I want to talk about... We'll get him in first. Let's get Callum in. Callum, how you doing, my mate? Are you all right tonight?
I'm all right, thanks, guys. You?
Yes.
Yeah, doing well.
Top banana. Look, moving on from Ramsey, mate. We're looking, and Josh has already said it. Josh has already mentioned it. Yoane Wissa. What do you reckon, mate? If this, forget about the Isak situation. Imagine Isak staying. Everything's great on Tyneside. Is Yoane Wissa the man for you to come in and be that second striker?
Yes, definitely. It would be a good replacement with Callum Wilson. It would be perfect for us, and hopefully score many goals that he can.
Do you think as well, with him scoring them goals, Callum, do you reckon if he can bring in, he can make an impact? Is he that threat that really could push Isak out the door? Could he take that number one striking position off Isak?
Who knows? It depends, really. But I think it would probably easy. With the player we're on about, Wissa, I think he would be perfect for become the new number 9. I say, in my opinion. But from I prefer put him as I start 11 than Isak if Isak wants to go.
I'm hoping Isak doesn't go in the long run, but at the end of it, is Wissa the man for you, Lee? Lee, what's your take on Wissa? Would you have him?
Definitely wouldn't have him as a number 9 because I know that number 9 is vacant. I think that's a special number for us. Even Joe Layton vacated it for Wilson, didn't he? So I don't think Vissal will get 9. And look, you can have it for one season, but long term that has to be our star man. I think Vissal will be a fantastic squad player. I think he's underrated. I think he had a fantastic season, scored more than Brian Mbemo. I know I banged the drum about that because everyone goes on about Brian Mbemo. Oh, what a great player! And he is a fantastic player, but he scored more goals than him. And for Brentford side, that probably I predicted that'll go down. I think they're going to struggle this year. Because they're losing all and they've got to lose no firepower, and they've got an amateur manager. We don't know Keith Andrews what he's like, so it's ballsy, put it that way. But I think it'll be done. It's we've got that domino effect. Bournemouth want to bring in, funny enough, Chow's best pal, Adley, and then that has a knock-on effect for Otara going to Brentford, and then then Vissa. It's just like roll the dice one after another. So hopefully Bournemouth get their man because I think the deal's done. But I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen his social media post today?
Yes.
Josh, no, I haven't.
Let me explain.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I know where you're coming there. So Vissa has liked a post, I believe, by Fabrizio Romano saying that Jacob Ramsey's on his way. Make of that what you will. It's him. It's legitimate him.
I think I see it on Facebook.
Aye, it's legitimate. I think it was on X, but it's probably been shared that amount of times.
It'll be everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm seeing it now. That's Rissa's coming then, isn't he, really? I mean,
yeah, I think it's a waiting game.
Yeah. I think the big Vissa thing has just been, ironically, that log jam of, they don't want to sell rightfully until they get their replacement. They've identified the Bournemouth guy. Bournemouth doesn't want to sell till they get their replacement, and I think the rumor has it they're going to get somebody from the Bundesliga, so hopefully that'll finally end the chain of everyone needing a replacement before they sell. But it sounds like it's one of those classic domino things. And the one thing I want to say on the Vissa, I think it's been pretty exhaustive, but I'll kind of pose it to you guys. Let's imagine we had a Men in Black, mind wipe right now, and nothing with Isak could actually happen this summer. If we got Vissa, Ramsey, Chow, Ramsdale on loan, and Elanga, and we did keep Isak stayed, he was happy, would we have said this is a successful summer?
Ooh, Josh!
I think I asked a few people that the other day on the stream as well because the list up.
Fair enough. You might have, Lee.
But Connor, go on, Connor, answer that question. Callum, sorry, I've got Connor coming. Connor, you're up next.
Connor's next.
I'm working as producer as well here. I'm doing two things at once.
Callum, what's your take on it?
I'm happy that this is put in as a start.
So, right. Look, it's a mad one. Imagine it. We would be having an amazing
obviously,
season.
it's a hypothetical.
It is, and I would love it, and it would make everything so right this summer. It would absolutely be ecstatic for me. But look, we're going to say goodbye to Callum. Callum, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening. I want to take it over to the comments, and we're going to be bringing Connor in after the comments. But I want to have a look at the comments and see what people are saying. Go straight from the top there. Matt Lewis agreeing with Frankie. As Josh said before, Brentford don't want stuff themselves up before selling him. He can't blame them. Causey's in the chat. Causey, hello. Just want to turn around and say thank you, Causey, for what you've done for the Newcastle United women's group this week in some of the work that you, Angela Graham, have been doing. Love that, mate. Total respect for you. Get yourself in, Causey. Causey says, if someone said in June we'd end up with Elanga, Ramsdale, Chow, Ramsey, Wissa, and Kevin, Isak, Tonali, Bruno, you'd be over the moon. It took more time to make progress, but keep the faith. Ever, ever, ever positive, Causey is. Love you, mate. Mark Irwin, how much better will Wissa be under Howe? Now, that's the thing I said on the overlap. How good is he going to be? Is the Eddie Howe effect this powerful? I think it is. Will it be okay to sell Isak if we buy Wissa or we don't wait for a real number 9?
We can't just rely on Wissa and let Isak go. That's not on.
Nah, we would need
You've
to.
got to remember, Vissa's not Isak's replacement. Everyone's
He's
got to
not
remember that.
He's his backup. We do need someone to back up. Travoy Stevens is saying someone who I would love to see as a good shout if we do lose Isak, and that is Ramos. Someone I have been looking at a little bit. I do like the idea of Ramos, but what price is it going to be for? That's the issue, I think. Joe Linton, number 9. No, never again. I do not want Bruce Linton to appear. Right, comments, keep them rolling in. We are going to keep coming back to them when we can. We are going to bring Connor in now and have a little catch up with Connor. Connor, my mate, how are you doing this evening?
Evening, Josh. Evening, fellas. How are we?
I'm good, mate. You?
Good to
Cheers,
see you
Connor.
again, Lee, by the way. It's been a beat since I've been around these parts. Yeah, all good.
Good to see you, pal. Good to see you.
And it's more you used to Lee and someone else, not me. I think this is our first little foray, isn't it, Connor?
Yeah, well, I was on a fair bit, particularly during COVID, when we had a lot of the watch-alongs and fan reactions. I think I done one of the WhatsApp shows as well with Lee, which was quite fun. Yeah, good times, even if not necessarily good memories of Bruce Ball.
Cabbage heed. I know that's one thing I look at again when I just said it before about Bruce Linton, the difference players have been made under Eddie Howe. Talking about Eddie Howe, Connor, what do you reckon? I know you've got a very, 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 very good bit of basis and knowledge inside of you. Do you think Eddie Howe is a man to see Newcastle out this next few years? Is he going to take with the more glory? Is there going to be... How do you see Eddie Howe? Is he with for ages, or as soon as Thomas Tuchel leaves England, does Eddie Howe dash off? What do you reckon?
Well, it seems to be the broad consensus that once Thomas Tuchel leaves, which most people are assuming will be at the end of his 18-month contract, that will happen. But I think if he gets proper backing, he can be. I mean, look, I think it gets lost on people. Since Eddie Howe came in, the 3 full seasons he's had, he's not finished below 7th in the league. That's despite, by the way, that season he finished 7th, having 11 first-team players out injured at one stage, which is incredible, which is why I didn't buy Spurs' injury claims from last season, because we done okay, albeit we had some issues.
Yep.
And then to go and win a cup last year was the next step in that progression. The issue becomes that at boredom level, and I know the PSR is strangling us at the moment, but there's got to be a bit more ambition in making sure Eddie Howe is backed and can bring in those players. And by the way, I think he can improve someone like a Yoane Wissa. I mean, if he's scoring 19 goals for Brentford under Thomas Frank alongside Brian Mbeumo, then there's no reason why he can't come into Newcastle with the supply you'll get from the likes of Jacob Murphy, Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, Tonali, Bruno, and not score the same amount, if not more. But obviously, again, it all depends how the Isak situation works out. If he's going to go and we get the money, I'd rather it was done sooner than later, so there's time to bring in a replacement, because the last thing you want is to get to deadline day and then he goes and you're scrambling at the last minute to try and find anyone you can possibly get. So, no, I like Eddie Howe, and I think he's been massively underrated. I don't know if it's a thing with English managers in general that they just don't get the credit they deserve, because, I mean, if his name was Eduardo Hernandinho, he would probably get,
Can I ask a question at Connor? Because we're going to ask the Scotsman about England, because I bet he loves that. Come 18 months' time, is Eddie Howe a Newcastle manager or an England manager?
I think he's still a Newcastle manager.
Yes.
I'm going to do. Because there's a lot to be achieved here. The League Cup was just a taster of what's to come, hopefully. And listen, some would argue that there was a door there for us to win a cup double last season. I mean, all the big boys went out. City were really poor. The chance was there. It was missed. But I'm very positive about Eddie Howe. Yes, sometimes there are certain games that I think, for example, he's got a hoodoo against Bournemouth. He has to find a way of winning that fixture. But by the way, he couldn't win that fixture when he was Bournemouth manager either. Sometimes managers just get games like that's like Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho very seldom could come up and beat Newcastle at St James's Park, regardless of the club he was at, which is bizarre. But he's so good, Eddie Howe. Look at the difference in Joe Linton and Jacob Murphy from when he came in. I mean, talk about guys who are pretty much written off, and the improvement is stark. And that to me should be something that attracts players to come and play for Newcastle as well. That's why I don't like the nature in mainstream media talking down, people don't want to go to Newcastle. Why wouldn't you? You're playing under a first-class coach at a club that's got Champions League football once again to offer you, and a club that is on the rise, albeit we can't, as Lee said earlier, we can't do a Man City. We can't buy everything straight away. We've got to earn our way to get there, but we're doing it, I think, in the right manner under Eddie Howe.
Yeah,
Look,
I so agree with you, Connor.
To not segue away too much, and I want to get everyone's opinion on this. Say we bring Wissa in, right, and say in the last week of the transfer window we sell Isak for 130 million. There's a lot of names getting shouted out in the chat here. We've got Jackson being shouted out. We've got even I've seen Justin Clivert shouted out before. Who was it who said that? John would love Justin Clivert for a striker. Who's your options? For me, it's Ramos. I would love to bring Ramos in now that all my other options and dream options are gone. Chak, get your people in. Samu, like Connor, Josh, Lee, whoever wants to jump in here. Who is your option to bring in alongside Wissa? If we see get 130 million, we'll split it down the middle. 130 million you get for Isak. You've got Wissa in. Who are you bringing in?
Mine have both had transfers, so I did one Tesco and I did one I can't even pronounce his Retigay from Atlanta. I think he went to the Far East, the Middle East. So he's an Argentinian who's declared himself Italian or something bizarre like that. But I think he got 20 odd goals last season for a side in Atlanta. So there isn't many. Look, Ramos came off the bench the other day and done bits again. Talked about him. Would he want first team football? Because he's not going to be a starter at PSG. Look, could we sell the dream, saying, look, we're going to pay these wages. You're going to be first choice. Isak's out the door. You get Wissa for the door. Can you then sell that package? And goes, look, we want you to be our number one. We think you can get 20 odd goals a season. And then everyone else across Europe is potential.
Yes.
That's what you're buying. You're not buying a proven. It's a bit like Isak when we bought Isak 3 years ago.
But you go back to the Eddie Howe effect, though, don't you? Can Eddie Howe do it to more players? I think he can. Josh, Connor, who do you bring in alongside Wissa and Wissa Isak?
I think
for me. Go ahead,
Josh.
Connor.
No, I was just going to say, I think that I know we've already gone to them for Jacob Ramsey, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't approach Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. I think he's one of the top strikers in the country, and Isak is going to be. It's going to be nigh on impossible to replace him with somebody of that quality straight out the gate. But you also have to remember that when we signed Isak for 60 million from Sociedad, it was a bit of a gamble at the time. He was a decent striker, but he wasn't proven to the degree he has become in this team, which is why this is restricted just now. But I do think Ollie Watkins you could get, because surely if you got 130, 140 million pound for Isak, I can't see why it would cost you, I don't know, any more than maybe 80 million, 90 million for an Ollie Watkins, because you've got to pay that English tax that we spoke about earlier with the clubs. But he would be one of the top names on my list to be alongside Wissa. Ramos, I agree with as well. I think would be a fabulous shout, quite frankly. But I think I do think that's a market going. And plus, we have in the past prided ourselves in having that English number 9 with Alan Shearer, albeit it was Geordie boy as well. But I think that would be a real good thing for the club as a whole if you could get him in. And it damages a rival for Champions League positions in Aston Villa.
This is true. Connor, I'm going to say goodbye to you before I bring Josh's shout in. Thank you very much, Connor. I hope you have a good one. Take care, mate. Thank you very much.
In a bit, mate.
If we can bring the comments back up, and Josh, if you can bring me in with your thoughts, because we're going to bring Ulfa in after that. Who's your guy?
For me, there's only one way, like one person left that I'd feel like if we lost Isak, we're coming out stronger. And again, that's under the assumption Wissa comes in too, and that's Ramos. To me, the moment Sesko was off, he's the only person out there that to me would get me excited. And to be fair, I've been kind of shouting him from the beginning because a lot of people want that, marquee signing. And I think signing someone who's a borderline starter for PSG and all that would be your quote unquote statement of intent, marquee signing. And one thing I want to say real quick that Connor was saying, jumping back just for a second about Eddie. I know the things that people sometimes want to ding him about are maybe in-game tactics, which are fair. But if you think about the skills he has the skills that I would argue you can't be taught. You either possess them or you don't possess them. That man management, how to nurture someone, be professional, and inspire them, things like that. Those are the kind of skills you can't teach. You either have them or you don't. And I think he clearly has them. The things he maybe lacks is still those tactical things, but he can develop those things. And that's why, to me, back to Lee's question, in 18 months, to me, I pray to God that he's still here. Because my biggest fear is, and I'm a little less worried about it now because we've had a good couple weeks in the window, but my fear a week ago, before Chow was official, and assuming that Ramsey is official, all but, my fear was, in 2 months, everyone forgets about this. And then they instead blame Eddie because that's the only person you can blame when fixtures aren't going right. Why didn't you make this sub? And things like that.
Yeah, I like what you're saying there about him, like the magic of him, and I feel like Newcastle always needs that magic player as well. We need someone out there who's doing bits, and I think at the minute we've got a few as well. And
not to be cliche, but he's kind of got that little bit of Sir Bobby in him.
He has a little Southall flair, if you would. A little Southall flair. Look, we're going to have a little look at the comments. I can't forget to remind you, let's get this up to 300 likes, and I will most certainly do a little twerk for you. Or maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe we won't get the likes. So, look, whatever it takes to get 300 likes, I'll do it for you guys, right?
Seriously, though, it is important. Get if you see the video, get us up for the effort that we're pushing out for you. There's over 200 in the chat now, or there or thereabouts. Drop us a like, cost now. Helps us out, gets us found. That's what we all ask for you. Thank you.
We love that. So I want to have a little look at the comments again, Lee, because I've got Ulfa waiting in there. A very, very, very special guest all the way from Iceland. But before that, let's have a little look. Everyone was talking about Samu, and I realised that 80 million, it's too high risk for Samu. Jamie Peters is saying, I don't think Ramos is realistic. El Capo, forget the big names, do what we are good for, find that gem because the gems are out there. We need hunger and we need it young. I know a lot of people say no, but is that a Watkins? It's been said Piff won't sign off on two strikers aged 29 and 30.
That's a hard point.
I would like to bring as young as we can, and I like the ages of players we've been
the
bringing.
The problem that we've got is because we live in a PSL world. It sounds like a song, that, doesn't it?
It does.
If we sign Watkins, you're not going to get that money back, basically. So it's the longevity is, yes, you'll get the player for 2, 3, 4 years, but you'll not be able to sell them for the same fee again.
Yeah,
agree.
That, and we need to look at that as well with how big PSR is. It's too important not to. Like, but please no twerking. Peter Snell, I can't promise that. You never know what I get up to. But thank you very much. It is important for me. Patrick Schick scored 31 games last season. No, he's 29, which will be cheaper than Watkins. Fair point, but we don't get the resale value, as Lee was just saying. Have we got Ulfa ready to come in as well? Ulfa is all the way from Iceland, which I love to see. Many different fans coming in. We've got Josh all the way from Philadelphia and Ulfa from Iceland. Ulfa, my mate, how are you doing this evening?
Can you unmute your mic, Ulfa?
Let's see.
There'll be a button on screen where you've got to unmute yourself. So next to your mics. And he's gone off. Lovely. We'll get him back on. We'll get
Ulfa back on. We do have another guest waiting if he is available.
He's back.
Hello. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, my mate. Hello, Ulfa. How are you doing?
How is the sound?
No, you're good.
Good. Great.
Love a Viking on the channel.
Oh, I love it. Honestly. Like, Ulfa, how are you doing? How's Iceland doing?
Good. Yeah, it's been a warm summer for us. We got an unusual heat wave in May, so that's good.
What degree are you looking at? What was your height of heat?
26 degrees in May. but now it's 13.
I wish it was 13 here,
Whoa.
mate. I really do. I'm sweating here. I'm surprised I'm not melting on stream. Look, I want to stay with the hot topic right now because the chat is going mental about this, about who we would bring in. Ulfa, who's your choice of striker? This scenario is we have got Wissa. We've sold Isak for 130 million. Who do you bring in? Who's that star for you?
First of all, I would like to try all possible ways to keep Isak, if possible. But if in scenario where we would have to sell him, which would be very difficult for us, I think. I think Vissa is as I understand it, is a replacement for Callum Wilson.
Yep.
So we're looking for a replacement for Alexander Isak. Then I think we might have to. I don't know. We have good history with AC Milan, so like now we have Thiaw and Tonali from them. So I think maybe we might need to look into other leagues or something if we want to replace Isak. But I would not want to. I don't want to allow him to go. I think because I have so many. We have so many Liverpool fans here in Iceland, and they have been giving me a hard time.
Plastics.
We have Isak coming there. Isak is joining Liverpool, and I always say no. But I don't want to give that to all the Liverpool fans here. So I would do anything.
So understand you, Ulfer. It's the same here in the States. The Man U, the Liverpool fans that just think they can own us. And no, yeah, I fully empathize with you're saying. I just almost don't want to do it to spite them.
But even now, some of them are even starting to not want him now, because they are starting to see how his character is.
Yeah. It's not great, really, is it? The way he has went on. I think we can all agree on that. It's disrespectful to the club and the city, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, he is not that. I mean, he's young, but he's not this young. You know, he's like 10 years younger than me or something. You know, I mean, he's behaving like he's 15-year-old. You know, it's ridiculous. Like you're arguing with your parents, you don't get something. You know, it's something I would have done when I was 15 or 16, but not when I was 25.
I like what you're saying about the AC Milan trick. So do you think there's some sort of player who we could pull from an AC Milan, or is there anyone who you would like to try and pull in? Maybe he's not a striker. Is there any other position, Ulfa, you think that Newcastle need to strengthen? In comments, please let me know if you think there's someone else who we need to strengthen.
I always like to get I don't know, do they still have the French lad in AC Milan? Hernandez?
Olivier Giroud.
Oh, yeah.
Theo Hernandez, left back.
Yeah. Somehow they seem very positive over there to come to us.
We're getting Zaggy out of retirement. He'll do.
Exactly. Bring Zaki out of retirement. That'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? That'd be.
I think Giroud went to MLS.
Yeah, he's in LA.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
did he go LAFC?
No, was it not Miami?
And then, I mean, I said on an Icelandic podcast once with some Liverpool lads, I said Ronaldo or Messi, and they even made headline Ronaldo to Newcastle ?
I remember seeing that headline. Like, it was crazy. It was all because we got taken over by this big rich people, and everyone was like, "We'll sign everyone in the world." And I'm glad we didn't. So Ulfa. Do you know I just called you Vissa? God damn, it's been a long week.
Spent
Anyway,
double the mind, didn't he?
And Ulfa, my friend, what would you say for going forward in this season? Looking at the squad as it is right now, are you confident? Do you think can we reach Champions League again? What's your thoughts?
I think a realistic spot is 5th to 7th, maybe.
I thought you were going to say something worse there. I thought you were going to say like 15th or 1st there, mate. I was going to be like, oh, another hot take. 5th or 7th, I can take that. Do you reckon we can bring another trophy in this season?
Yeah, I think so. It's in the cups we can, but we need the striker. I like Osula, you know, when he celebrates and all that, but I don't see him scoring goals, sadly.
Do you think he's got it in him though? Do you think he can become that man?
I hope so. I would be so happy for him, but I'm not sure.
We'll have to see. Anyways, Ulfa, thank you very much for tuning in. We are going to turn to the comments once again. Ulfa, take care, my friend. Hope it stays cool for you over in Iceland.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Always
Thank
nice
you
to
very
meet you guys.
You too,
Yep.
my
Nice
mate.
to meet you too, buddy.
Pleasure. So I have a little look at the comments. Josh, someone's just turned around and said, would Havertz be an option? Graham Morton. Is Havertz an option?
No, I am not a Havertz fan, which is saying something because I'll admit I have a bias for Germans. I got into
What?
football through. Let me explain. So I got into football via living in Germany for a bit. So I always, love a German player. So like I'm chuffed to bits that we got Chow. I'm definitely probably getting a jersey with him just because he's German. I know he's, obviously his family origins are not from Germany, but still it doesn't matter for me. But yeah, I don't really rate Kai Havertz personally. And I think he's another one of those classic things. Just he has a history with us. Bringing him into that dressing room would be interesting for sure after some of those tackles he's put in.
Yeah, it would. It would. I want to point out Edwin Norris right there in the comments. Come on, don't give him too much stick, guys. But Ossel as a clown, get rid. However, we're all clowns over here in Geordie land, man. Well, I'll like to have a laugh. I think Asula has very much a lot of potential, and I think he can come in. And everyone's agreeing with you here, and I would as well, Josh. Like, Havertz isn't the man for us. However,
I think he's more of a 10 realistically than a striker.
He is. He's not that big. I think in time he will become a great, like you say, a 10. I think he will fill that role brilliantly in time. He just needs more experience, and I would like to see him get plenty cup games this season, and really, really be brought on. But speaking of the man for me, there is a man I want to bring in onto the stream, and he is the man for me. He's the one. He's the only. It's the beautiful. It's the rambunctious. 40, my friend.
Wow, what an intro, man. I'm not used to intros like that.
Hold on, 40, hold on. You want an intro?
Long time no see, mate.
How you doing? Are you right?
And presenting the last real champion, it's 40!
That's quality, that's quality.
Mate, you're doing good. You're all right, man.
Yeah, I'm all good, man. How are you?
I'm cracking on. I'm absolutely sweating over here, but we're surviving. We're surviving.
Hey, aren't you a superstar now? I see you everywhere. I see you on the overlap. I see you on TalkSport. Wow, I'm honest to speak to you.
Jamie Carragher made him. We go back a bit. What do a little bit.
All three of us were meant to be down TalkSport today, weren't we?
I know. We all bottled it.
No, we're bigger than that. 40. Me, Josh, you're on your way. We're big enough to bottle TalkSport and be like, we don't need.
Hey, that. I was there for a week and I was on Sky Sports with Keith.
We're all just showing off now, aren't we? Come on.
Best pals with George Culkin as well.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah, look, the comments. There's a lot of love coming in for Josh. There's a lot of love coming in for 40. Jesus, has been a long time. I think that's meant to see Newcastle fan Lewis. I used to love your videos. Wait,
see 40. There you go. There's your motivation. We've talked on WhatsApp.
I know. Every time
he's been thinking about putting his YouTube channel back, doing 2 videos. I'm like, do it.
I know, but it's everything that comes with it. You guys know as much as any. It's a graft. It's not just as easy as just whacking on the camera and that's it. It's all the stuff that comes with it. So, yeah, it's nice to hear that. No, thank you, Lewis. But I don't know. I'm still toying with. Anyway, let's get into some Newcastle news. Let's
get into some Newcastle stuff. Look, we're all talking about Isak. We're all talking about players to bring in. How do you feel? Right, we've got Villa in a matter of just over about 36 hours-ish. I can't do maths very well. How are you feeling for the start of the season, 40? Do you think we're ready? Do we go out all guns blazing and smash Villa 7-0? What's your take, mate?
You know what? I'm not feeling too bad about it now. Before I was like, oh my God, this window is terrible. But now we're bringing in Jacob, and we're bringing in Chow as well. So it's not looking too bad. I was a bit skeptical about the Ramsdale deal, but actually it's looking like not a bad signing now, especially with Pope's feet. God off. I remember watching that live. Oh my days, Pope's feet, please. So again, we're getting in. We're actually, I think someone did it online, like for like signings. We've kind of upscaled on every single signing that we've got rid of. So the only one is the Isak situation. But I don't think, you know what?
I'm sick. As much as I'm sick of hearing of it, I think he'll get done and dusted once we sign Wissa. I don't think he'll wait for that second striker. I think we're going into the Villa game with Gordon through the middle, Barnes on the left, Elanga on the right, and then Wissa. Obviously, we won't sign Wissa in time, but I think the next game in the Liverpool game, I think we'll have Wissa in by then, and then we'll sign. God, what's the name? The guy from Villa,
Ramsey.
Sorry, Jacob Ramsey from him.
How can you forget the name Ramsey?
Oh yeah, of course. Shout out the Irish guy. And then by then, I think that'll be it pretty much. If we get a second striker, cool, but I don't think it'll be the worst thing in the world. The last thing I want us to do is get the 110, 120, how much ever we get for Isak, and then splash it and it goes wrong and goes tits up. Similar to remember when Spurs got rid of Bale and they'd spent it all on Soldado and all those players there. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather us keep the money in the bank, spend it wisely, and wait for the right striker to come out. I think this will be a good signing for now, but obviously we want an Isak replacement signing for the future. You know, Isak's of that age where if he would have stayed with us, you know, he would have been with us for a good 4 or 5 years. So I think we'll wait for that Isak signing, but this will be a good signing for now, which will get us through this Champions League, FA Cup season, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I'm inclined almost to keep Isak just till January. So like you said, 40, get someone that's not a desperation buy, someone we actually believe in, because I think that's my thing with Samu's, I don't think we're like on the 8th different tier of who we thought could replace him. So I'd rather give the team 6 months to do their homework and see who they want and bring in who they want.
I think if we get anyone else in, it'll be the smell, the stench of desperation. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you.
We laid all our cards on the table with Sesko. We didn't get Sesko. It is what it is. He's at Man United. He'll be at Fulham in 2 years' time anyway. So again, whoever we get in now will be like our 8th choice striker, and we'll probably have to pay through the nose.
Exactly.
Like I said, if we get Wissa in, we'll get Wissa in for an affordable fee, around about the 35 million mark, which is fair enough for a striker of his quality. I think he was like 4th or 5th top goal scorer last season, so he brings goals. He knows what he's going to hit the ground running, and then like I said, keep that 100 million for when in January, if we need him, we need that person, we can go out, get him in January, or if not, the next summer. That's it. That's what I would do.
Forty, I want to ask you a question, right? Yeah. Say we sell Isak. Is the worry that clubs know that we've got all that money and then we'll have to overpay for a top striker?
Lee, we're in the Premier League, mate. It's watching around the world. Everyone's going to know we've got money. We've been taken over by Saudis. We're the richest. We've got the richest owners in the world. Everyone knows we got money. So we can't. It's no way of getting around it. It's like, Liverpool. Any chance you could just slip that 120 to us without anyone knowing? It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So end of the day, now I'd rather do it this way, where even if we get someone on loan, we do it smartly rather than the whole desperation. We need to spend the money now. No, we don't. We're not desperate. Yeah. I know we've got Willa Sula, and he's more of a TikTok influencer than a striker. I'd rather get in Wissa, who wants to join us. He's even liking tweets and liking all the rest of it. He wants to join us. Remember what we said at the start, but even before the money, we want players to play for us. We want to play for us. So we get Wissa in, we've got Ramsey in, we've got Chow in, we've got Ramsdale in. It's not a bad window, guys. It's not a bad window. Forget Isak. Let him burn and rot at Liverpool. You'll probably flip in, like I said, you'll probably do the same thing to them in 2 years' time, go to Real Madrid, and then Liverpool fans will coming onto the stream and be like, oh, you know what, man? We understand how you feel. So don't worry about Isak. As long as, look, the main thing is, and it's now come out now, as long as we find him and set a precedent to all players that can't do that to us in future, because there's no way, I can't believe we've left it up till now. That's the only thing that I'm annoyed about, is that we've not found him up until now. I know we're trying to leave it till the first competitive game of the season, but at the moment, he's mugging us off in daylight. So I'd just like to say, find him now. Every time he doesn't want to kick a ball, fine a week's wages. And then he'll be like, oh, he'll be great for that 120 a week that he's getting. Do you know what I mean?
Just something that you touched on before there. Do you think Ramsdale's going to be number one?
I think so, yeah. I think eventually he will do, because he can offer something more that Pope can't. You know, Pope, as much as some people love him, some people love him, but his ability to not play out from the back is alarming. And again, we want to be able to do that, especially in Champions League matches. You've seen our backline now. We're getting the new blood in, and the new blood of playing out is playing out from the back. It's no longer just going Route 1 football all the way. It's being able to play out through your feet. Ramsdale can do that. Do Do you know what I mean? As long as he switches on for the whole 90 minutes, because I don't want no one to distract him behind his back and he continue to howler, because then I'll have to get Popin regardless if he can kick with his feet or not. But I think Ramsdale will be the eventual number one. I don't think he'll start straight off number one, but I think he'll be eased in as Eddie usually does in it with his new signings.
That's bang on that. I agreed with that. Someone explained it to me a few weeks ago, and they were like, look, with Ramsdale, I think it was a couple of days after he first came in, they were like, look, with Ramsdale, you've got to remember he's that player who can start attacks extremely quick straight away. And that's exactly the type of football we need. And it was right then where I realised, wow, we've been putting a hell of a lot of chips on Pope, haven't we? And I started to realise the Pope issue more, because I've always been the type of guy who's like,
I've been saying it for time. He can't with his feet. It's embarrassing. Why? When we've got a grown-ass footballer who can't play with his feet. You know, this is in 2025. This is no longer 1998 where you just hoof it out. You know what I mean, I remember when he got sent off. You know what? The deciding factor for me is when he got sent off against Liverpool, I think it was. And then he didn't get sent off like, is it 2 weeks later against Wolves or something like that? Anyway, around that era, I was like, no, I've had enough. I don't care if you can keep saying he's England's number one. He's not. He's not. He's not. He can't play with his feet. We need someone young who can play with his feet. We didn't get Trafford, and we all know what's happening to Trafford now. He's going to be flipping Master Splinter by the end of the season now when Donnarumma comes in. So he's going to regret not coming to us. But now we've got Ramsdale. Ramsdale's our number one. And listen, I'll back him now. I'll back him. Until he messes up, I'll back him. Just keep your head focused on the game. Don't get distracted, boy. All right? I like him as well, though.
You guests are killing me. We've had Eduardo Howardinho. We've had Asula's more of a TikTok influencer than he is a striker. And then you've just hit with him, man. Like, what is going on? I'm never hosting a game. These guests are absolutely insane.
You know, 40 brings it. He loves it, man. He absolutely loves it.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. I needed this. I needed to kind of just vent out, but it's good. It's good to talk amongst fellow Toon fans, man, who all think alike as well, man. So
this is why we need you back, man, in the game. We've got loads of love in the chat, man. This is why we need people like Josh in the stream. We need this going on more and more and more. I absolutely love this. The community, it's what it's about, man. It's a crazy, crazy transfer window when you talk about it. And I mean, one positive that I'm going to talk about, and it's the partnership with Guinness, because it's a huge one, I think, and it's massive for what we want in publicity, in money coming in, and it's more of that role of the club growing, isn't it? Like we're going overseas, we're bringing in more overseas fans, we're bringing in more players from bigger clubs. We need these partnerships, and it's a wonder of what's next for Newcastle. And genuinely, there's where I look at, can we get more trophies in the next couple of seasons? What's your take, lads? You've got all this big publicity coming in. Yes, you've got the Isak situation, but top and bottom, everyone's talking about Newcastle, and a lot of people are backing one now. Can we ride this wave of momentum, and can we bring another trophy in within the next 2 seasons? And I don't care what trophy. If it's one of the big four, I'm happy, but can we do it? Josh?
Obviously, I think we can do it. I don't think it's realistic to expect. For me, I think I was listening to Loaded Mag on my drive home from work today, and they were talking a similar question. And to me, like, what is a successful season this year? The only thing that I think that truly matters is we qualify for Champions League again. We need to demonstrate that we can do it sustainably, because unfortunately, that's the reason why we lost out to, say, the Sescos, the Pedros, because once we start consistently doing that, we can incrementally get those wages up and compete with those guys. But if we kind of do it every other year, we're going to continue to struggle, I think, to match those wages. I'm not saying that I ever hope we get to 300,000, because like I said at the beginning of the show, I think you need people that understand it's team before their own ego. And as much as I understand, they're workers, it's a job. As much as for us, it doesn't seem like it. We're watching them as a sport, but it is their livelihood, and they got to make that money just like we would want to take whoever's going to pay us the most in our lives. But at the same time, I think we need people that understand the importance of what the badge means, not just the paycheck.
True. 40, you confident about trophies in the next season or two?
I think first things first, mate. We got to retain what's ours. The Carabao Cup. Listen.
The gold badge.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The gold badge. points and no badge on the show. Anyway, the Carabao Cup is ours. It's our World Cup. It's our Champions League. I don't care. It's seen as the throwaway trophy. It's ours. It's our first in 70 odd years. So you know what? It's our World Cup. Retain what is ours and then build upon that. Look, last season was the perfect season for all of those teams that never usually get anything. Look at him. Look at him with his champions. That's our Carabao Cup right there. That's our title. But yeah, we got to retain what's ours first, and then from there, let's build from there. Look at last season. You've seen Crystal Palace win the FA Cup. You've seen even Spurs win a trophy. We've seen us win a trophy. So again, it's possible. Who's not to say that we can't retain trophies, especially in the next season as well? So come on, come on, Kedge. We can do this, man. We can do this. Once we sort Pissy Pants out and send him back to, or send him over to flipping the Scouse land, then we'll retain what's ours, man. And you know what? I would love it. You know what I'm doing there? I would love it if we retain a trophy and Liverpool win nothing. Imagine that. And you've gone all that way to throw your legendary status in the bin to then win nothing next season and we retain our trophy. I would love that. Clip it up.
That would be class. Bodie, look, it's been absolutely class catching up with you. We've loved it. The chat's loved it. Mate, get back on this game. Come and join me for a few more. Bloody brilliant. Hopefully see you this season, my mate. Thank you very much, and you take care tonight, my pal.
Love you guys. Cheers, guys.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem at all. We're going to jump back into the comments, have a little look, because we do have Travoy, I believe, waiting in the line to come in. We've got a couple more people lined up waiting to come on as well. Let's have a little look at the comments, Lee, if we can. What's going on over here? I'm greedy. I want them all. Unrealistic optimist. That is certainly an unrealistic and optimistic opinion. Ricardo Voss, I don't... Josh, would you like to read out a couple of comments? I need to get a drink 2 seconds.
Sure. Yeah, I done that. Champions League again, or CL again. All for saying I liked Longstaff. Graham Morton, I'd go 5-3-2 with Gordon and Elanga up top in a low block. I think that's a good shout for formation against Villa. Maybe get that way you can get Byrne, Botman, and Cher in. I think that could be a good shout. Paul Gallant, I've said many times our season depends on our players. Do they want to win cups? As I said, 2 cups this season. Oh boy, 2 cups.
2 cups.
That's a big shout. I mean, I would love it if you're right, but again, I'm trying to be a bit
2 girls?
Oh, no, Lee.
No? Oh, all right. Never mind.
Lee.
I think I'm there.
Roast Lee.
Anyways, back to you, Mr. Kenja.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I had a little joke up there. My voice is getting a bit dry, but we do have a couple more guests who come on as well. Where's Newcastle fans crying over Wissa going on strike? It's all good, man. How many points do we pick up from the first 3 games? Ooh, Gaz NUFC. I like that. That's a good one. Lee, do I have our next guest ready to come in? Because that is the question I am going to pose to them in the comments. Please drop likes and please let us know how many points you think we get from the first 3 games. Travoy, mate.
You guys at the moment.
You are coming from a long way away as well, aren't you, my mate? We're getting all the international fans on the day.
I think there's something wrong with my phone or whatever, but I definitely can't hear you guys. So I'm going to jump off and let someone else get on.
Thank you, Travoy.
Okay, thanks anyway.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Travoy.
Fair enough. That was brilliant by Travoy. We do have another man waiting in the wings, which is Lewis. Lee will be able to bring him in while he's doing that. Lewis, he's jumped
back on. If you are available, you can jump straight in, chat us straight away. So you are next in the queue.
Right there. So that said, how are then, lads? I'll ask you guys instead. Josh, I understand you may be jumping off sometime soon. So
yeah. Just gotta wait until the boss tells me I gotta go. You know,
boss. Thank you for.
Do you not wear the trousers in your relationship? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I do not. The boss controls everything.
Fair enough.
I love her to death.
What do you reckon? First 3 games, how many points are we taken from Aston Villa away, Liverpool at home, and Leeds United away?
So, I originally was very, very pessimistic because of how the summer's been going and everything about the Villa game and that. And because we've been so caught up in our own kind of rightfully understandable depression, I think it's low-key been missed. Villa haven't had much better of a summer than we have. And for me, I think we can actually nick a point or maybe all three from Villa. I think it might be one of those classic like the good news hit us at the right time. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just fuel off that energy. And I think we've all been feeling it. Like there's days where I go into work and like I wake up, I see the first headline of the news. Because for you, it's about noon when I'm getting up. So I'm getting that headline right as I'm waking up. And sometimes it's like started my day right off sour. So before I ramble on, my point being is I think the recent news has actually put us in better spirits if we can just ignore the numpty from Sweden from right now. So I think we're going to sneak 3 from Villa.
Like it.
And only because I think there's going to be fury. Like I think that St. James's Park is going to be prime it's opening game of the season, and we have every reason in the world to be mad at Liverpool, even though, to be fair, as the time has gone on, I don't actually think as much of this is Liverpool driven as much as it was Agent and Isak acting in poor taste. But I think the fans aren't going to care, and they're going to be pumped up. So I know it's going to sound contradictory to what I just said, but I think we will get a draw from that as a result, because I still think it's a big task to get points against them. So I think we can get a draw because we're at home. And then I think we need to win at Ellen Road. No disrespect to Leeds, but those are the things we need to be doing. So I'm going to go with 7, sounding like an absolute crazy person, probably.
Very, very positive.
Very, very positive and brave. But I think with the way you've put it as well, though, Josh, like you've got me to agree. Like people the day were saying to us that we're going to beat Villa, and I'm but the way you've posed it there, yeah, maybe we can squeeze 3 points.
As I've said to Lee, I've been accused of being the happy clapper many times before. So this might be me with my black and white tinted glasses.
I like that. Lee, would you like to tell us your point tally for the first 3 games?
I'm not as positive. I think it'll be 4 points. Before I go into mine, I'll explain that. Lewis, can you turn your camera on? You're bringing 2 cameras on the live. I don't know which one I'm bringing you in on, so if you can turn your camera on, so I know. There you go. Thank you. We'll bring you on in just a second.
Yep.
I think it'll be 4 points. I think Villa away is very, very tough. I think our record down the years, yes, we won 3-0 a couple of years back, but apart from that, it's horrendous. We've got a better record at home. I think we'll do well to get a point, considering we don't have a recognised striker. I think that'll be score draw. I think we'll get beat off Liverpool, but I think that Liverpool game will be thunder. I'm going to go on record and say that'll be the best Premier League atmosphere all season for us. Even this early on, our first home game, just with it being Monday night, the drama that comes with Isak, the crowd, Liverpool fans will be singing, we'll be singing.
Our flags will not disappoint.
I think early on this season, it'll be the best. The Champions League is a different level because we don't know who we're going to get yet. But in terms of Premier League, that will be the atmosphere of the season, 100%. Because Liverpool fans away from home are really, really good as well. I think we'll beat Leeds. I don't think it'll be dominant. I think it'll be tough. It's just written for Longstaff to have a worldie that game or put in a goal or something like that, isn't it? But I do think it'll be 4 points from that game. What about you, Joe?
Me, honestly, I'm not that positive. I usually am. I personally think we will squeeze 1 point from Villa. I do agree as well. I think we will lose against Liverpool. I just don't think we're going to have the quality up in the top end of the field to actually bring the fight to Liverpool. Although with what Josh says, I do hope that maybe we can do that whole, get into them. And we can go out there and we can outperform and the lads on the pitch can do something. But even then, I see the maximum being a point. And then Leeds, I'm really, 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 really worried about the ex-Newcastle player effect in what we've seen many times over the years, that we have a player who isn't the very best. And then
Sean, really scored in that game.
Sean was great for. He done some good stuff. He did, but he wasn't the world beater that he could have been. And I feel like it's one of those where we could go to play Leeds, and all of a sudden, Sean Longstaff turns into prime Messi.
But can I put in by the time, because I think Liverpool will be close on what I think. By the time the Leeds games come, you would think Isak's gone. The decision needs to be made because it's so close to the deadline. And then you've got Ramsey, who's probably played a couple of games already. Chow's probably played 1 or 2 already. You would think the settling period will begin for those players. And even to some extent, Alanga, but Alanga has settled in really well already.
Alanga's sound. I would hope that's the case, but I feel like in that we are getting... I'm going to try and be positive and say, right, we'll squeeze a win against Leeds, but it'll be an extremely hard game, possibly.
I agree on that. I think it'll be tight.
And we'll squeeze 4 points, a point from Villa, no points from Liverpool, and 3 points from Leeds. But honestly, deep down, I'm really trying to fight the fact that I feel like we're going to get 2 points from the first 3 games. I know that's very negative for me. But look, to get away from my negativity, I want to remind everyone as we go and jump to the comments before we bring the last guest, which is Lewis, in. I want to remind everyone to hit those likes, please. Let's get that up. If you hit 300, I will not twerk. Or I will twerk, depending. I'm not sending everyone private videos, but it's really, really important for it as well. It helps everything that we do here at Newcastle Fans TV. It encourages us to do more. It gives a reasoning. It builds a community. It is huge for us. So please hit the like. Now, Lee, let's have a little look at the comments, see what people are saying about the points.
Yeah.
I'm hoping there's a lot more positivity on the comments, and I mean, it's you kind of see it. It's hard, isn't it, at the moment? PSG bid 110 million for Isak, and we get Ramos for 55 million. Just watch it happen. I like that positivity. For the lads writing us against Liverpool, if we sign Wissa this weekend, do you change your mind? No, I don't, because as we discussed earlier, he's, for me, that replacement for Wilson, and
Isak will not play that Liverpool game, regardless where he is.
No way he will. It doesn't matter even if he's a Liverpool player by that time, he doesn't play it. So, no. Buckley's English says 2 points.
Joe Linton's going to put a nice 2-footer into him.
Yes, he is. Oh, body him, Joe. Body him, Big Joe. Bravo 1982 saying, I see we only get 1 to 3 points from the first 3. Gavin House already done, cuz. Cheers, cuz. Lee Maggs, oi. Isak is a... Yeah.
He's a banker.
He is. He's not a langer. Mark Ryan, anyone concerned with such poor pre-season, no momentum going in like previous seasons? I am worried about that. I can't lie. Unrealistic optimist, away to Villa. If we play in the break, we might get something. Also say name. Yes, I know you. Oh, I know. Joe Linton giving out a year minimum injury, or he'll always walk alone. It seems like a lot of the context is a lot of negativity for now, which you...
Josh wants to put in.
One last thing before Lewis comes in and gives his thing. I just remembered another really good point I heard one of the channels say today. Martinez cannot play for Villa.
Yes.
Yeah, red card.
Because his red card at the end of last season. So they're going to have to play their backup goalie. I know nothing about him, but obviously that could be something that could be helpful as well.
Asula from 40 yards out. Asula! Anyways, calm down. I've just woke the neighbours up and got a noise complaint, but it's all good. He's a Manchester United fan, and anyways, my neighbour, so I can definitely...
Of course he is.
He's honestly, it's typical that he's a nice Manchester United fan. His wife is a Newcastle United fan. I'm going to have to shout it very loud in case they are in. Helen, Jim, love yous. Thank yous very much. Jim, we're going to beat you twice next season. Yes, cracking on with that. Anyways, Lewis, how are you doing this evening? Are you all right, my man?
I'm okay. Thanks for you.
Ooh, little bit of a mic issue there, Lewis.
To prove your audio, Lewis, you have turned your camera off. Yeah, I thought I might improve it. It's not. No. Give it another go, Lewis. Try and come back out and come back in. And you're back.
I will.
We can hear you now. Oh,
Right, we'll try. This is the thing about live streams, ladies and gentlemen. It happens, especially when you're trying to work on the fly, bringing people in. It was all organised pretty much early hours of this morning with me and Josh, and then Lee came in as well. And it's been great so far. I've enjoyed the banter. It's been good stuff. Josh, how are you enjoying? You've done a couple of lives now. What's it feeling like doing the lives?
No, it's a lot of fun. I mean, for me, and it's funny, even my wife says, when she just can tell how it's good for me to get the stuff off my chest, have that to talk, because, I as we've talked about, yes, I've been born very, very far away, but, there's been very few places I felt more at home than when I've been on Tyneside. So bantering with you guys and just, this is what I do all day is I'm listening to everyone's live streams, all the recorded content that Lee puts out, that, Maddie puts out, just like all of you guys, I'm sure, do during the day, listening to Keith and stuff like that. So it's just nice sometimes to get it out and chat a bit.
It is. It's beautiful. Lewis, we have you in. Is the mic?
I can hear you. It's better now.
Wicked. Lewis, how you doing, mate? You are the penultimate. You are the main event this evening. How are you doing this evening, my mate?
I'm fine. I just did a Premier League predictions with my friend who's a Sunderland supporter.
Ooh.
Sunderland.
I have got them to get beat against West Ham, and I have got them relegated as well.
Good lad. Do we beat them though? That's the important one. Does the two games, both games, home and away?
I think so. But I just checked the fixtures. Have you seen we got to play a Champions League game before we play Sunderland at the same light?
Don't worry about that. We're high caliber. We can deal with that stuff. It's fine. Excuse me again. That will be causing it for another drink in a minute. Look, Lewis, the big talk tonight. I like that you've talked about that, about predicting the Premier League fixtures. The big talk tonight has definitely been about players being brought in, the transfer window. How happy are you, Lewis, with the transfer window? Do you feel like now it feels good, or what?
It's gone 160 degrees, hasn't it? Literally.
It has. It's heated up in the last couple of weeks, hasn't it, mate? Are you happy with the
since the Isak situation, it's just been like, all right, then we're looking at other players. Time to get the players in.
And we've got them in as well. That's the big news. Ramsey's looking to be announced. We've had Alanga over the door. We've now got who am I missing there? Malik Chow over the door. How can I forget Malik Chow? Are you happy? Do you think they're the big signings that we need? Are they going to do a job for us? Who are you most excited for?
I think with Rams, if we get that player who's came from Aston Villa coming up and that, they need medical today and that. But that's a good signing as well, because it's another backup for the midfield.
Yeah, that depth.
And obviously, we've got another defender, got a younger defender. He's going to help settle in, because Fabian Schär's, obviously, he's from the German part of Switzerland. The player who's came speaks German, but Tonali can help him because he speaks Italian. Literally, he's going to settle in so quick. And then obviously with Ramsdale, that's a good backup as well. He's going to help Nick Pope out.
Do you think Ramsdale takes a number one position eventually?
I think so. He might play. He won't probably play. He'll be on the bench on Saturday, and then maybe he might play against one of the cup games to get him properly in.
That'd be our read. Just give him that experience, get him in, moving nicely forward. I'm looking forward to that one. What do you reckon, Lewis? In the first 3 games, how many points are we going to take?
3, unfortunately.
Where do we get those 3? Do you reckon 1 point each game? 3 draws?
No, I think it'd be Leeds.
Beat Leeds. Lose to Villa and lose to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Oof.
But I have predicted us to win, but it's one of those things I don't know. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm well, let's say, no, hang on. 4 points.
4. Where are you getting the extra point from? Who we're drawing against?
It'd be
Villa.
Aston Villa. Oh yeah, I like it. I'll take 4 points. It's a bit more positive than me, I suppose, in getting at least a better few points there. Lewis, we're going to let you go there, my mate. Thank you very much for diving in this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. You take care, my buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Might see the women's games at Gated Stadium.
Damn straight, mate. Damn straight. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you all later, guys. Cheers.
Good night, my mate.
Good night.
This has been a very, 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 very fun show. We have got through a lot of subjects. Lee, Josh, before we do look to sign off, is there anything else you would like to ask the chat, the comments? Is there anything you'd like to say?
There was one good comment, and maybe we'll go to it for one last. But I think it was Matt from the beginning of the show said he's predicting we're getting 4 victories over Sunderland. The women and the men doing the double on Sunderland. I like the way he thinks.
On 21s, let's make it 6.
I do it. Yep, six people.
Let's go 8. The U18s as well.
Yeah.
You know,
bragging rights and all that. I ask everybody to drop us a final like. That would be lovely. That would be absolutely wonderful. I would like to ask, what can I ask everybody right now? A simple yes or no. I'm going to do it as well, just randomly. Is Eddie Howe the next England manager after Tuchel's contract? Yes or no in the comments. Just everyone, just go yes or no right now. Yes or no. That's my question. Just a random one.
Do you know why as well, though?
Jack's just put it in there. You've interviewed my little brother today in town. Will it be on YouTube?
Yes, Jack, actually, it will be. It will be within the next 24 hours. Keep your eyes out. There's going to be 2 separate videos. We're going to have a short about Aston Villa, and we are also going to be having a full video where we'll ask people's opinions. Pretty much the same as what this live has been. Mine and Lee's day has literally been, and Josh has jumped in on the night time. It's literally been going around and getting everyone else's opinions, because this is the way we want to push the channel. We want to start building this community massive and getting everyone involved. Let's have a little look there. It's very mixed, isn't it, lads?
Predominantly no. I'd probably say 2/3 no. Would you say?
2/3 no. 2/3 no.
Interesting, because it is a long time. 18 months. You don't know where we were at in terms of PSR, money. It is a long time in football. Do England collapse in the World Cup? You don't know, do you? It's such a long time.
It is a while away, a hell of a while away. I want to shout one of the guys out in the comments, Ricardo Voss, just because after every single. From what I've noticed anyways, after every single guest been on, the first thing he's done is big them up, and that is something I'm heavily about.
It is. Do you know what it is?
It's hard to come on this stuff. It's hard to do it.
Yeah, I want to echo that as well. It's not always easy to put yourself online. Look, it's easy for us because we've done it numerous times, and we're there to be praised or shot at as one or the other. But everyone that's come on, and I thank you. We are going to do a lot more, as you've probably seen on the channel. There's so many lives and so many content going out on both channels. So don't be afraid. If you don't want to put your camera on, you can just stick your audio on, have a chat.
We're happy with that. We're more than happy with that. Look, everyone, it has been absolutely excellent. I have loved it tonight. Lee, thank you very much. I'll no doubt have to put up with you again soon. Josh, absolute pleasure, mate, as always. I look forward. We'll hopefully get to do a few more of these throughout the season. By the way, we're talking about loads of great
soccer. What's that?
Just like wind them up.
It's great, isn't it? It's great. No, but everyone who's been jumping in, make sure you give
all right, cheerio. Cheers.
That your British accent?
Not really. That's probably the best I got. Hello, governor.
Hello, governor.
Oh, you're going Cockney, yeah. Well, the King's having a speech tomorrow morning, so that'll be interesting.
Tumbleweed, and on that great.
Anyway, we'll move on from that.
Yeah. The King's having a speech. Great way to end the video, Lee. That's just dropping.
I never thought I would say that on live.
Lee, it was like today when I'm not even going to mention what you said today in public. Josh, we'll talk about it afterwards. But Jesus Christ, he put me in such a situation. This man right here, members. I'll reveal it in the Discord, members, because that is another thing. Before I go, you can become a member of NFTV, and you will be able to find out all the juicy
under this video, right underneath,
all the daft stuff that Lee does when he's out. I am not the daft one. I'm the daft one on camera and off camera, but he is the daftest. I tell you now. I'll find out in Discord. Let's get all the deets. Anyways, look, Josh, thank you very much. Josh's boss, thank you very much. Lee, thank you very much. Ferdinand, thank you very much. Newcastle fans, TV fans, thank you very much. Shay, jump in the next one. Lee, get ready to come and chat some shit with me. Love it. Thank you very much. Take care, guys.